Now, a lexicon of laughter follows in just a moment. I have a couple of things to tell you first. The first one being that I have an urgent message for drivers travelling on the A1 in Lincolnshire. A serious accident involving a number of vehicles has occurred on the northbound carriageway of the A1 near Wittering. That's about 5 miles south of Stamford. The northbound carriageway is completely blocked, and the southbound side is reduced to one lane. Delays can be expected for the next 2 hours or so. Now, next Saturday afternoon sees the start of a new science series.
The chemical term SO4 no longer simply means sulfate. It's also the title of Radio 4's new magazine programme about science, medicine and technology. You can hear it on Saturday afternoons in the company of Peter Evans.
People often don't realise just how much science there is around. And what we're trying to do in SO4 is give some idea of the breadth of scope of science. It pervades our everyday life. It's not just something that happens in laboratories. It's something that's all around us. In SO4, Jeff Watts will be lending support on the medical side. Alan Lewis will be looking at technology. Georgina Ferry will be looking at the biological sciences, the brain sciences. And together with me, we'll all be going out and about and bringing back material for SO4.
And you can join Radio 4's scientific team on Saturday afternoons at 4:30 or on Monday evenings at 7:45.
And now, as promised, a lexicon of laughter with Richard Anthony Baker. Within a period of time not less than, in fact slightly exceeding 1 hour from this present moment in time, the radio programme known as Woman's Hour has, as is usual on a Wednesday, a person who has been asked to appear as a guest on the aforementioned medium. The chairperson will be endeavouring to ascertain the motivational conversation exemplified in the initiator of the Plain English campaign. Well, in that case, let me put that another way. In Woman's Hour this afternoon, Chrissy Marr will be talking to Sue McGregor about her attempts to outlaw elements of our language that seem hell-bent on confusing and misleading us. All will, I hope, become much clearer at 2:02. And, by the way, there is the start of a new Woman's Hour serial, Duplicate Keys, by Jane Smiley, read by Shelley Thompson. An hour later, if you enjoy the eerie and supernatural, then the play is for you. It's a thriller about a mother and her daughter who have moved to a quiet cottage in the country. Well, that may seem perfectly normal in itself, but something rather disturbing has been happening to the little girl, and in desperation, her mother calls in her friends to help.
She's possessed, Ross.
What?
Don't look at me like that, please.
Oh, come on, Angela, for heaven's sake.
Something's wrong, Ross.
Obviously, but if you just... You're not making sense.
Oh, nothing makes any bloody sense. Oh. Tracy, not too loud, love. To begin with, God forgive me, I thought she was just mentally ill. Now I'd settle for that.
How? How is she ill?
She has dreams.
But what sort of dreams are they, and what do they mean? Answers not on a postcard, but in the play, and when you sleep, you remind me of the dead, just after 3:00. After the play, it'll be time for verse once again with H. Colin Davis, with some poems that pose the question, where? Then, after the 4:00 news, we shall hear how the mighty state of Texas has fallen on hard times, at least compared to the way it's been in recent decades, with an oil slump that could have knock-on effects in next year's presidential election. File on 4 begins at 4:05. Then, if your view of Australia is all kangaroos, corks dangling from bush hats and full and empty cans of lager, do join Christopher Cook, who will disabuse you of those views, in Kaleidoscope Extra at 4:45.